Hola, bienvenidos a la clase de español 4 o 5. Eso es un video para explicar, para hablar del subjuntivo imperfecto número 2, parte 2, hablando de cláusulas de sí. Cláusulas de sí es posiblemente el más usado, el más regular uso de subjuntivo imperfecto. This is maybe the most common use of past subjunctive, honestly. In inglés, no decimos cláusulas de sí. We would probably call these if-then statements. So an example of something like this would be like, let's see, when I pick on, if Rolando lost, he would cry. Sí, Rolando, es muy normal para ti. Pero bien, puede ver que hay dos cláusulas en esta oración, en esta frase. The if clause, if Rolando lost, and the other one, the would, he would cry. ¿Sí? Tenemos dos verbos diferentes y actualmente tenemos que conjugar esos dos verbos en dos formas diferentes también. ¿Sí? Bueno, the if statement, la cláusula de sí, goes in past subjunctive. Notice I didn't say the first statement. The first statement happens to be the if statement here, but you can reverse both of these clauses pretty easily. I can say if Rolando lost, he would cry, or I could say Rolando would cry if he lost. See? Entonces, it's not necessarily the first clause, it's the clause that contains if that is going to be in past subjunctive. La otra cláusula está en la forma condicional. The other clause, the one that does not have if attached to it, is going to be in the conditional tense, which you had learned in Spanish 3. We reviewed at the beginning of Spanish 4. I know that it's so awful to keep track of all these different tenses. That's really what makes past subjunctive so difficult, is that along with past subjunctive, sometimes you use present tense, sometimes you use preterite tense, sometimes you use conditional tense. So es mucho. Yo entiendo, es mucho, ¿sí? Pero, para repasar eso muy rápido, la forma condicional es muy fácil, ¿sí? When you conjugate a verb in the conditional, it's actually very easy. Oh, I don't like that glare. Ugh, let me move where this is. La forma condicional with a verb in the conditional tense, what you do is you leave the verb as is, like hablar, ir, beber, and then you attach an ending to that. And that is ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian. ¿Sí? Bueno, hay verbos irregulares en el condicional. Son los mismos irregulares que el futuro. And I'm not going to go through all of those irregulars in this video. There's a document in Schoology that has all of the conditional irregulars. To remind you, I usually divide them in 3 categories, the dre, bre, and no sé ones. So that's where you have like tendré in the future. Here would be tendría, saldría, podría, pondría, all those weird ones are the conditional irregulars. So really, aside from knowing the conditional tense, you just have to be aware of which one gets what conjugation. And then remember the past subjunctive, which you have been working on for the last 2 weeks. 2 small weeks, but still 2 weeks, 2 semanas, ¿sí? So, going back to our example, if Rolando lost, he would cry. ¿Sí? So, lost es perder, is to lose. Putting that in past subjunctive, we would have si Rolando perdiera. To cry is llorar. It's not irregular. You'd say él lloraría. Boom. Es todo. ¿Sí? Otro ejemplo. Let's see. Going with one of my classics. Oh, sorry. If Senor walked home, a bear would attack him. Right? Happens all the time to me, apparently. Aquí, again, here I have the if statement at the beginning. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. I could say, a bear would attack Senor if he walked home pretty easily. See? Si Senor Julio. For walked, you can use caminar, andar, etc. None of those are irregular. I'll just use andar. Andara a casa. Un oso le atacaría. See? Atacar is not irregular either. So, bueno. No sé si tiene preguntas. Hopefully that makes sense. The homework assignment is from the workbook, so it's going to be a bit more complicated sentences. There's going to be a lot of words that you're going to have to look up. Like they use there was or there were a lot, which is haber, and haber is irregular. So think about that. And also bear in mind that it's not always going to be if and then would. Sometimes the would is going to come first and the if is going to be the second clause. So please pay attention to that as well. But, bueno, pase un buen día, buena suerte con la tarea. Y dime, pregúntame por email o puedes llamarme también si tiene preguntas. Hasta luego.